Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of diversifying your Lego inventory. Let's get into it. So let me know if this sounds familiar. It's the start of the year, the Lego retirement lists have come out, you're very excited, you log on, you scan up and down this list looking for the sets that you think are going to be the winners. So you succeed, you have your list, it now comes to the point where you decide how much you're willing to pay. You succeed at this as well, and you carefully accumulate, stock at a good buying price throughout the year. You keep the stock set aside, ready for its time to sell. However, when it comes to the time to sell, you look at the going rate on eBay, on Amazon, but it's basically really underperformed. This set has not achieved the heights you expected. It's underperforming, it's underwhelming, it's underachieving. Basically, you made a Lego investing mistake. Now, if you just bought 10 of those sets, it would be, annoying, frustrating, but not too bad. But say you bought 100 of those sets. Now, that would be probably quite damaging, depending on your budget, on your Lego investing business. Now, as Lego investors, we all make mistakes, but the thing is we need to embrace these mistakes to learn from these mistakes. So I'm just going to walk you through the remaining of this video, several examples, whereas if you didn't diversify your Lego inventory and put all your eggs in one basket in these sets coming up, then you might just be in a bit of hot bother. So I hope you enjoy. So one of the first sets I'm going to bring your attention to is the Atst Radar, part of the Star Wars theme, set number 75254. Now this set is quite notable in the Star Wars or Lego investing communities. Now this set came out alongside the Mandalorian series, it came alongside the first series of the TV show, and I think it had all the hallmarks to be a great set. It came with Cara Dune's exclusive minifigure, and it was a first wave set of a new show. It ticked the right boxes. Unfortunately, the whole Cara Dune saga then took off, and basically the hype train safely landed at the doors of this set. At the station of this set. Now the whole Cara Dune saga was being that the actress got fired due to controversy, and because she got fired, everyone assumed Lego would end production of this set, and this set would be the only one that would feature her as a minifigure, and therefore cause her value to, skyrocket. And initially, it looked like that was going to be the way. This quickly approached in the UK market on eBay to about £70, and on Lego Shop at Home it was out of stock, so the signs were good. Unfortunately, Lego really took advantage of Lego investors and took advantage of this misinformation, set the factories to maximum churn, and basically churn out so many of these Atst Raiders, which were then swallowed up by Lego investors who were basically being quite badly burnt. I mean, this market is so oversaturated with them. It's been a really over-hoarded set. The Cara Dune minifigure isn't even exclusive because it's come out in Moff Gideon's Star Cruiser set. And this set is so over-hoarded that it was even still available on Amazon Prime Day as part of one of their offers for half price, for down to $25, 7 months after retiring. In the UK and the aftermarket, it's not doing well, selling on eBay for about £40 if you're lucky. So taking that into consideration, if you put all your eggs in the Cara Dune basket, you would not be having a fun 2023, so that's one example of where diversifying your Lego sets could just be one of the best things you ever do, and don't follow the hype. Sometimes, despite our best efforts of identifying Lego sets that are predicted or rumoured to retire, things don't always go according to plan, and Lego can unfortunately bump up their life cycle a few years or a few months to a year. The most recent example, or one of the most recent examples, would be the Harry Potter Charms book. This was scheduled to retire at the end of last year, but unfortunately it's still on the shelves and predicted now to retire at the end of this year in 2023. But a more infamous example would be the Lego Ideas Treehouse. Now this set was rumoured to retire all the way back in 2020. Obviously that didn't happen. It's still on the shelves today, 2 years later in 2022. And there's no end in sight for this set. It's not on the retirement list to go at the end of this year either. So if you put all your money in the Ideas Treehouse, that's money tied up for now, 4 or 5 years minimum. And I'm sure you'd be sweating quite a lot right now, and not just because of the heat. For myself personally, I got burned on this set. I thought it was going to be good. It came into stock at the end of 2020. I think you could get quantities of 3. I bought 3 at the end and thinking, you know, it's rumored to retire. It was already selling for about 220 on eBay. It looked like a sure winner. That hasn't happened. I've sold off 1. I've still got 2, and unfortunately, it's just dead money. And we don't want dead money as Lego investors. So, Lego Ideas Treehouse. Unfortunately, we are now in an era where Lego sets can simply be remade. So to explain that, we identify the sets that we want to buy on the retirement lists. These sets retire, but then Lego just releases the exact same set with just a new set number. And the 2 examples I'm speaking about here is the Lego Ideas Ship in a Bottle and the Lego Creator Saturn V. Now this also began its life as a Ideas set. Now, these 2 sets, I think, retired back in 2019, but it was only a few short months after they retired that it was leaked that they were coming back with new set numbers. You know, the exact same box, but just a different set number and the exact same model. Now, this would not be great if you put all your money in one of these sets, because essentially it just extended the shelf life of these sets. I mean, sometimes we put our money into Lego sets, you know, and we take into account the shelf life, and obviously those with shorter shelf lives, there's less production, less supply, and faster turnaround time we can make our profit. Now, the Ship in the Bottle, the remake, the second version retired, I think, at the end of last year. And the Saturn V is still available today. It's an Amazon exclusive. You can still buy it today. And considering this set came out in 2017 and originally retired in 2019, that reproduction of the exact same model has basically extended its shelf life from like 2 years to approaching 5 years. So, you know, that's so much more supply out there. And take into account that this set, soon after it retired, was approaching about £200 on the aftermarket, you know, 100% return on investment pretty quickly. I mean, will it go back to those heights once it retires quite quickly again? You know, time will tell. But again, if you put all your money in one of those 2 sets, you then would have got a rude awakening of a much longer shelf life than you were originally expecting. So, you know, again, another example where diversifying your Lego portfolio could be the way forward. Furthermore, Lego themselves might just re-release the exact same set with the exact same set number. And I'm going to use Brick Fanatics to reference this because I remember it at the time and I remember it being quite odd. But I'm talking about 2 years ago. I'm talking about the Ultimate Collector Series Snowspeeder, and I'm talking about the Ideas pop-up book. Now, these sets had been retired, I think, for about 6 months, if my memory serves me correct. And then essentially one day they just reappeared back on the Lego Shop at Home website, available to VIPs. Now, it was very strange, and the Snowspeeder actually sold out very quickly, I think in a matter of hours, with the Ideas pop-up book lasting a bit longer. And it's got to be discussed whether it was a new factory run of these sets, like a trial from Lego, or was it just old inventory found in a warehouse somewhere that they decided to then list online. But regardless of which one of those scenarios it was, the fact that Lego has suddenly put old retired sets back on the market is something that we wouldn't predict as Lego investors, but it would be something that could influence and cause a consequence to our investments, because at the time, the re-release, only for, as I said, a matter of hours of the Snowspeeder, it did cause a hit of the prices on the secondary market. So that would be something that Lego investors of the Snowspeeder wouldn't have taken into account, but it would be something that was quite damaging if they'd gone big on those particular sets. And taking that one step further, unfortunately, it came out in the news last year, but there's been no further steps have happened this year. But Lego is putting out surveys every now and again, looking at doing a VIP membership scheme, and in part of that scheme has actually stated that they would include access to retired sets. Now, this would not be good for Lego investing, I mean, really, because if Lego could just reproduce any set at any given time, you know, it could, I don't want to seem quite dramatic, but it could be quite the end of Lego investing for the lucrative returns that we've experienced in the past. Obviously, Lego couldn't reproduce the whole back catalogue, but the fact that they're trialing, or at least trying to seek out what the Lego community's interest in that kind of service would be, it's not great. and unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't happen and it stays away. But where we are right now, I think it's only a matter of time before it does come into effect. So that's something we really need to be on the lookout for, and keep in our minds when we Lego invest in the future. So there you go. So that was a few examples of why the importance of diversifying your Lego inventory cannot be understated. So I hope you've learned something, and if you've gained any value from this video, please give it a like, and if you're new here, give it a subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.